Okay, great. It's already 12:02, so I think we can start. I'm Lana from the Top Voices, and this is our community talks. The webinar is led by our community leaders, and this is Ilia Dubov, head of cybersecurity at Quadcode. Ilia is actually our great expert on cybersecurity, and he gives us a great valuable knowledge about how cybersecurity works in startups and how to make the strategies cost effective from day zero. And actually, today we're talking about the exact steps that startups can take from day zero to make their project secure. So, without further ado, I will give the mic to Ilia.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar today. As Lana told, my name is Ilia Dubov, and welcome to our Cybersecurity Essentials for Startup. Here is a slide with a quick serious cybersecurity essentials overview. And today, our second episode, which I named as From Zero to Secure, cost-effective cybersecurity strategies for startups. Today, we will discuss how offensive operations help to choose the right cybersecurity controls to implement. We will take a look at free-to-use cybersecurity frameworks that contribute to your first cybersecurity roadmap or strategy. We will choose must-have cybersecurity controls to defend your business and overview solutions examples. And last but not least, we will clarify if cybersecurity is possible without a cybersecurity professional in your team. Before we deep dive into the topic, let me introduce myself briefly. I'm a cybersecurity expert with 11 plus years of experience, predominantly in banking and fintech areas. My current position is the Chief Information Security Officer at Quadcode, and I'm in charge in creating, maintaining, and delivering cybersecurity strategy within our company and managing 4 teams of cybersecurity professionals. I joined my company when it was a small startup and contributed to overcoming cybersecurity crisis in my company by leading cybersecurity controls implementation and deployment. For those who missed our previous episode, I shared a quick recap. During our last discussions, I raised cybersecurity issue that target startups. I introduced the main cybersecurity concepts to the audience and shared some statistics to prove my point of view. I won't go into finer points right now, so I've added links to the whole video record of the last webinar and link to the article with a quick recap of our last session. Welcome to get familiar with the previous webinar outcomes. Let's start with our today's topic. And I would like to start with the question, what if I tell you that using awareness of hackers' operations and their offensive tactics, leveraging cybersecurity practice from proven and well-known cybersecurity frameworks, you can build a prominent defense to protect your business and your valuable assets without a huge budget or a certain cybersecurity professional on the board. Maybe some of you call me crazy, but during this webinar, I'm going to prove my position and share my vision on how to do it. First, let's begin with understanding a hacker's perspective, since it helps us to choose primary points for our future defense. Cybersecurity researchers created a simple model that describes a chain of cybersecurity attack, also known as cybersecurity kill chain. Starting with gathering information about future target, hackers consecutively create a piece of malware and then choose a channel to deliver malware to the target, the target system, and install malicious payload. After infection, hackers gain control over your system and find a final way to perform their adversarial actions on the target. For example, encrypt all the files or exfiltrate all the data and so on. You can do a lot during the gathering information or recon or weaponization stage. However, you can place countermeasures to prevent hackers from the delivery stage or stage number 3. And this can help you to break down all further kill chain steps and throw hackers away of your systems. To do so, let's take a look at statistics about systems that hackers often choose to perform their actions. Before we sorting out the data on the slide, you should know some simple rule that hackers use. So for them, time is money, and hackers tend to choose the simplest way to break into your system. And as you can see on the slide, we have leaders here. The most popular channel of attack is phishing or exploiting human beings. Second is using valid accounts, which hackers mine from previous data breaches in dark web and other system. They just try to break in into system using valid pairs of logins and passwords, and unfortunately for us, often it works well. An interesting and sad fact that the current biggest databases with login and passwords pairs contains almost 10 billion records. It is a huge amount. Third place, very close to valid accounts, is exploiting public-facing applications. Developers who develop those applications often make cybersecurity bugs, or how we call it, vulnerabilities. And hackers actively use it to take over their targets. And fourth leader in the rank, exploiting remote services. In 2023 and 2024, cybersecurity community observed a huge amount of exploiting such services like corporate file transfer systems and remote access systems, also known as VPN. So, and this is the example from this category. So, I've introduced to you top leaders of hackers target, and as a result, this knowledge help us to focus and to choose the right cybersecurity controls to implement in place to defend your systems. Let's go on and consider cybersecurity frameworks. Use Swiss knife for crafting a cybersecurity roadmap, choosing the right cybersecurity controls and their design, and setting up priorities in controls implementation. Reasons to use standards are plain to see. They help you with priorities. They include cybersecurity communities, knowledge, and best practices. And they allow you to scale cybersecurity operations as soon as your business starting its growth. And it's cost effective in general because the most popular cybersecurity standards don't dictate what tooling to buy, which solution to use, and how to solve cybersecurity problem using certain vendors. During my preparation to this webinar, I asked questions for myself. How many cybersecurity standards are in the world? So, and quick research showed me that if we consider like well-known and recognized cybersecurity standard, we might bet in the region of 300 or 400 standards. So it is huge amount as well, and we're not going to consider all of them. But I would like to introduce to you the most startup-friendly cybersecurity standard that I personally used in my practice. On the basis of a pyramid, I've added the NICE cybersecurity framework, the most comprehensive cybersecurity standard that covers almost all the cybersecurity functions within the organizations of different size. On an apex, I put ISO 27001 as a standard that helps to achieve compliance, especially for those who build their startups in the B2B segment. All standards, apart from ICO, are free to use and vendor neutral. As I told you before, NIST cybersecurity framework, the most comprehensive, and personally, I really like it because first, it has a good structure and all covered cybersecurity controls, split it into 6 categories, which names are govern, identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Each control from this framework has several subcontrols with a cross-reference to a deep and profound technical description with control purpose and control design. This framework is widely known and used, so you can easily find in the internet different case studies on its adoption in many companies. However, it might be too challenging for startups to start their cybersecurity path from NIST cybersecurity framework because of its overarching nature. Also, it's a risk-oriented standard. It's not a disadvantage in general, but considering the startup nature, the best way is to choose the best way is to choose a control-oriented standard because few startups conduct risk assessment. The next one is Center for Internet Security, critical security controls. And this is my favorite one, as I personally crafted my first cybersecurity roadmap for my company based on this standard. It is also well structured and includes 18 critical security controls in its last reduction that are ranked by their priorities to implement. What is most handy for startups? It includes free implementation groups from hygiene minimum to mature level of cybersecurity. Um, it goes with useful add-ons like a companion guide for small and medium companies, a companion guide for cloud computing, and even a companion guide for cybersecurity of mobile devices. However, it has own cons, and there are um, not clear covering of design for certain cybersecurity controls. And second one, it doesn't reveal all the aspects of securing applications during its development. Cloud controls matrix from organization that's called CSA, or Cloud Security Alliance, is a standard that covers all the cybersecurity aspects of public clouds. For example, AWS, Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, and so on. Its advantages are it has a strict focus on clouds. It's well structured, as many other standards. It has organizational relevance that help you to choose the right person in your team for implementing cybersecurity controls. And it includes well-written implementation guidelines. However, like NIST cybersecurity framework, it might be too overwhelming and too comprehensive for startups. OWASP Top 10 and application security verification standards from open source fund that's called OWASP. I put these frameworks together because of their focus on aspects of application security and cybersecurity during developing applications. OWASP Top 10 contains information about top possible cybersecurity flaws in applications, and brief recommendations for avoiding this flaw or securing it. Application security verification framework overarches all the aspects of application development and provides useful materials to design real secure applications for consumer, including functional and non-functional requirements, and also requirements to establishing process of application development in secure way. It has a great structure. Application security verification standard contains 3 levels of implementation, and you can choose the level according to your current context. It has cross-references to different standards from OWASP and other organizations. It has OWASP Top 10 and ASVS have own cons separately, but using it together, you can mitigate these cons and achieve a prominent level of cybersecurity for your tech products, and use OWASP Top 10 as a quick start for your cybersecurity, and then use application security verification standard for scaling your cybersecurity program in your company and enhancing level of your applications. We're not going to linger here for a while because ISO 27001 is more about cybersecurity government and cybersecurity management, different policies in places, and so on. And this standard is commonly used for compliance. Remember one simple thing, that compliance and compliance procedures barely indicates the true level and true status of cybersecurity in your company. However, there is one life hack in place, and all previously mentioned standards have controls mapping their controls mapping to ISO standard. So using the most popular cybersecurity standard, you move step by step toward ISO compliance as well. So as we sorted out attacker's perspective and cybersecurity standard, it's time to craft your first simple cybersecurity roadmap to defend your current or future company and business. To do so, we need to take 4 simple steps. First, understand attacker's perspective and awareness, and get aware of the main targets of breaking into your company. Second one is assessing your environment, where you understand what system do you use for communication, for collaboration, for selling your products, and so on. Third step is picking controls priority and design from introduced frameworks. And last one is assigning responsibility and roles for implementing certain cybersecurity controls. That's it. Sounds good. Sounds good and simple, isn't it? But okay, so I'm going to help you, and together we start practicing a little bit and try to create our own cybersecurity framework. Cybersecurity roadmap for your company, doing steps from previous slide. For convenience, I connected all the controls to the phase of tech product development, which is especially handy for those who are planning to build a startup. However, I believe that it will contribute to the current startup cybersecurity posture as well. Let's begin. During the stage of ideation, you rather become a victim of a cybersecurity attack as a person, but not like a company. So it's time to start from your personal cybersecurity hygiene. First of all, let's have a look at a text scenario. As a person, you can face with phishing and valid accounts attack, um, and um, to implement controls for preventing this type of attacks, you need to assess all the application you use, especially for communication with, for example, co-founders, your friends, your mentors, and so on. Application for collaboration and networking, especially social networks and so on. To prevent yourself from attacks, you have to enforce multi-factor authentication for all the apps. Also, it's time to set up a proper password hygiene. And enforce and deploy for you personal password manager to generate unique passwords, monitor known password leakage from different applications in the internet, and in general maintain proper password hygiene. Last but not least, you should set up disk encryption for your laptop to prevent data breaches in case you lose it or get your laptop stolen. Solutions that help you to achieve it are Bitwarden as a good and low-cost password manager. So it is, as far as I remember, it is low cost for small teams and absolutely free for personal use. Also, if you Mac operation system user, you can consider Apple passwords, because I like the direction that Apple chose in developing their password manager. To enforce multi-factor authentication, you can use different mobile applications that support one-time password protocols. And to enforce encryption on your laptop, you can use built-in functions of your operating systems, like BitLocker for Windows and file vaults for Mac OS. While planning and designing your tech product, you can craft your first cybersecurity roadmap using frameworks I brought in earlier, and secure by design principles that contains functional and non-functional requirements for securing applications. Also, when planning your team, you can segregate your duties and responsibilities for implementing certain cybersecurity controls, but we will speak about it a bit later in detail on how to correct segregate your duties and my vision on it. When developers start coding and IT guys preparing environments for your future applications, it's time to focus on preventing from new targets and new type of attack. It's exploiting public-facing applications. To prevent us from this future attack, now this we presume this attack is possible in the future, we should build and deploy vulnerability management process. And this process on the stage of development includes static analysis and code review for vulnerabilities, secret management, and dependency dependencies tracking processes. By secrets here, I mean passwords, token, and similar information that developers use to access databases with customer information, different third-party services. For example, your product have communication with OpenAI and different third-party APIs. And believe me, developers like to hard code secrets in the application's source code. So this is the early stage where you can find vulnerabilities, and it is absolutely cheap to fix it. So please don't ignore these simple measures when planning your development. Solutions that help you to achieve it are SendGrab as a free and community-supported static analysis scanner. HashiCorp Vault is also a community-supported tooling for establishing applications secret management routine, and dependency checker and dependency tracker are open source tooling for maintaining hygiene of dependencies to your applications. During the testing stage, I recommend you to focus on data used for tests. Usually, test environments are out of scope of strict cybersecurity measures, so you should take care of what data do you use for testing purposes, and avoid using real customers' data for this. To do so, your team can generate data for testing using certain samples from real data, and use for it a tool, for example, Binerator. Yeah, this is the most popular tool for generating fake data for tests. Also, the best practices for test environments is full isolation it from production environments. And to do so, you can use different firewalls and ACLs that usually built in cloud environments, for example, or in operating systems. Also, it's time for dynamic cybersecurity testing of your product, where you can check vulnerabilities in your application in test environments. And during this stage, it is still relatively cheap to fix found vulnerabilities. During the delivery of your product to a customer, you should take care of your production environment and mitigate a new type of attack here that go live from this stage, and this is exploit remote services. To do so and to prevent your business from this attack, you should carefully harden your production environment using cybersecurity standards and framework. For example, if you set up your environment manually, you can use CIS benchmarks as a good guide for hardening. Or if you use like best practices like infrastructure as a code, you can use a product like KICS that help you to find vulnerabilities and misconfigurations in your infrastructure as a code approach. Also, it's time to set up extra security measures for public-facing applications, and I mean web application firewall and DDoS protection. And to do so, you can use relatively cheap services from Cloudflare, for example. Also, it's time to design your future bug bounty program. And for open version, you can place it to Open Bug Bounty website and start to attract cybersecurity researchers to participate it. Bug bounty program are my favorite measure to enhance the cybersecurity level of your application, especially when it goes live. It allows you to use community knowledge and skills. This program is an official invitation for white hat hackers to test your applications and find vulnerability in exchange for monetary reward, a discount for your services, or free subscription for your services, for example, and last one, in exchange for free. And I mean, in exchange for reputation and recognition. You can sign a respect level for white hackers if you don't have money to pay them for vulnerabilities. I highly recommend that startups launch this program and consider natural option or open option to save their costs. Those who launch vulnerability management programs understand that your team might be overloaded with an endless amount of vulnerabilities in your systems. For example, there were approximately 40K vulnerabilities registered in the different databases last year. To avoid this overload, I recommend using database with known exploitable vulnerabilities that contain information about hackers' operations in real time and what vulnerabilities they use in their operations, and general information about workarounds and how to mitigate those dangerous vulnerabilities. So, and this approach can set focus for your team and save many time and money. So, I hope you successfully launch your rocket. Your team is growing and your customer base is extending. So it's time to enhance your cybersecurity a little bit. When you go live, you start attracting attention and start new communications with customers. And it's time, from my perspective, it's time to deploy endpoint protection to save your devices from malware, as well as deploy spam and phishing protections to avoid delivering malware from communications channel. Proper cybersecurity awareness training for newcomers will be a great fit because they will be your first line of defense, and they will get different spam and phishing emails and messages in different communications channels. It's reasonable to set up role-based access in your applications to support the principle of least privileges and principle need to know basis. Unfortunately, incidents are inevitable in your future, and I don't want to scare you, but uh, by incidents, I didn't mean huge and critical incidents. Small one can be annoying as well. So, from my point of view, it's a good time to plan your incident response ahead and um, set up your first incident response plan using, for example, playbooks that published on GitHub and absolutely free to use. Let's have a look at solutions here. So I would recommend you as a startup option to use email security from Checkpoint. Um, to protect against spam and phishing. You can choose every endpoint protection for small businesses from different vendors because during preparation I couldn't choose only one. There are many options. You can set up your baking data up routine using absolutely free tools like Borg and Bacala. And as a cheap option for outsourcing of cybersecurity training for your employees, you can consider using Know Before services. So I introduced a simple roadmap connected to product development, explained cybersecurity controls, and shared with you examples of solution to prove my position on affordable cybersecurity for startups. But what about hiring a cybersecurity professional in your team to cover all the mentioned controls and implement them? In my opinion, in early stages, startup don't need to hire a cybersec professional, at least in staff. You can use instead some small consultation services, for example. But also, you can segregate duties within your current team and handle cybersecurity controls. I've added some simple table with my point of view on this topic. For example, founders can provide their leadership and vision on the cybersecurity of the future or current company and to declare a cyber secure product for their current or potential customers. Product owners can handle both functional and non-functional cybersecurity requirements during planning and designing phases of your product development. Engineering people can build mature vulnerability management program and build it in your product development. Software testers can take care of dynamic cybersecurity analysis and help you with generation test or fake data for your test environment. IT guys can strengthen your production environment and your workspace for secure remote work, for secure office collaboration, and also these engineers can help you with backups of your data. And of course, everybody in the team contributes to cybersecurity by raising their awareness in these questions: doing password hygiene, enforcing multi-factor authentication, and doing other basic measures. Cybersecurity controls for startups are limited activities. Therefore, you can segregate duties and spread different functions of cybersecurity to team members without hiring a cybersecurity pro. Sounds a little bit crazy, but I believe it can work and enhance your cybersecurity level. Today, I showed you only one possible way from zero to secure. I demonstrated how to take that path using an understanding of threat landscape, mining knowledge and best practices from cybersecurity frameworks, picking well-designed and vendor-neutral controls for preventing threats, choosing free and low-cost tooling to implement controls, and my vision on segregating duties for cybersecurity. You can find your own path using the information I shared with you today, or take those I suggested. But remember, nobody takes care of securing your business but you. However, the cybersecurity community is always ready to help you and provide their assistance. Let's wrap up our webinar for today. Thank you so much for your attention, and feel free to ask your questions, and I will be happy to answer them.
Ilia, thank you so much. This was a great lecture, and we have a lot of amazing questions, but unfortunately, we have only 10 minutes for them. So we will do our best to answer as many as possible. But in case your question is not answered, you can always contact Ilia on LinkedIn or by email and ask your question in person. So we're super community friendly, and you can always do this. So I will start from the last one. Ilia, what's one security habit that you never skip?
Can I pick two?
Sure.
So monitoring my password hygiene. So my password manager sends me a notification if some website with my password leaked, and I always change my password. And second one, I immediately install patches to my devices.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Yeah, sure. Let's keep it brief so we can answer more questions.
Yeah.
Nolex asks, we use VPNs for remote work, but I heard that they're being exploited. Should we be worried?
Um, Actually, yes, you should be worried if you didn't set up a patching routine. So if your VPN solution um, community or vendor supported, you can set up patching routine, because vendors usually um, create patches for different vulnerabilities in a really fast way. And setting up this proper routine, you avoid yourself from worrying about this topic.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. The next question is from Maya. It's actually about bare minimum. I think that the whole lecture was about the bare minimum, but let's take the bare of the bare minimum and wrap it up in a few sentences. And what's a good bare minimum for security startup for a team of 5 to 10 people?
Um, okay, it depends on if product development, active product development, I mean, in place, or team developing MVP. So let's imagine that 5-10 people developing MVP for pitching, for example. So bare minimum is to protect their communication and collaboration tooling and their devices, for example. And I would say that maybe take some simple cybersecurity awareness course to understand more about personal hygiene, cybersecurity, set up password hygiene, set up endpoint security, set up device encryption, and mm, like prepare some proper patching routine. Yeah, to apply patches on all the devices. I mean, laptops, smartphones, like wearable watches, and so on. Yeah, that's it.
Great, thank you so much. The next question is from Pavel. What do you think about password policy? How often users should change it in corporate environments?
Yeah, thank you so much. It is really great and tricky question. Um, in my opinion, users don't have to change passwords until it was leaked or it was broken by internal cybersecurity team. So the short answer is never, if password proper enough. But if user or his colleague or cybersecurity team um, know that password was leaked or broken, user should change it.
Great, thank you so much. The next question is from Brand. How do we detect and respond to an attack if we don't have security monitoring tools yet?
Yeah, I was in such a situation, and usually indicator of cybersecurity incidents is complaint from customers to support team. So absence of security monitoring attack isn't an excuse for absence of incident response scenario. Believe me, you find a way to know if cybersecurity incident happens or not, and you must be ready. Yeah, and believe me, you find a way to get this information. Yeah, but in my practice, it is usually customer support. Yeah.
Great, thank you so much. The next question from Tobias. What's the simplest way to check if our website has any vulnerabilities?
Yeah, the simplest way to check it is using dynamic vulnerability scanners. I've added one to my slide. It's called OS ZEP. And this is free to use scanner that help you to scan your website and to check it if it has vulnerabilities or not in automatic way.
Yeah, thank you so much. The next question comes from a hacker perspective. Can a hacker tell if a startup has weak security before even attacking, and how?
This is really a great question. Thank you so much. It's really interesting. The problem is hackers using the same tooling as a cybersecurity specialist, but cybersecurity specialists have one advantage because they have access to source code and can create more deep analysis. So actually, hackers run some automated scanners against your website, for example, and if they find some simple vulnerabilities from scanners, they can assume that your cybersecurity level is quite poor. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. The next questions touches the business perspective of the process. It comes from Sebastian. How do we convince investors or partners that we take security seriously without an ISO certification?
Yeah, this is excellent questions. This is excellent question. Thank you so much. So from my perspective, it is also depends on what stage our startup currently. Yeah, because if you sell a real product, in many cases you need or ISO standard or SOC Type 2, Type 1, Type 2 standard, and so on. If you pitch your idea or MVP, you can mention popular cybersecurity framework you use from community, for example, OWASP for securing your application, and CIS critical controls for securing your working environments, and mm, likely investors heard of these standards. Yeah, but as far as I know, many investors certainly know about NICE cybersecurity framework. So you can mention it.
Thank you so much. And we'll pick the last question. But once again, if your question wasn't answered, you can always contact Ilia and ask your questions in direct messages. So the last question's from Rebecca. Ilia, what's the most underrated security risk that startups completely overlook?
Um, Thank you so much. It is a really interesting question. So I would think that startups' most underrated risk is vulnerabilities in dependencies. So this is a huge challenge for the whole cybersecurity community, and I think it's not only for startups. I think it's most underrated risk for the whole companies who develop tech products.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So thank you everyone who joined us today. This was a great lecture, and I hope that you will implement this measure to protect your project from any vulnerabilities. And once again, in case you have any questions about how to protect your startup, you can always contact Ilya, and he will help you as a part of our Top Voices community that supports early stage founders. So that's all for today. Good luck with your startups, and have a great day. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.